Hey everyone, it's Cheryl from Teaching 2 and 3-year-olds. I thought I would go over some things that we are going to be doing for the month of March. The first 2 weeks are rainbows, and actually in the second week we start introducing St. Patrick's Day, and the third week is also St. Patrick's Day. And we still will be doing some rainbow activities during that time as well. Then our preschool actually breaks the fourth week for spring break, and then when we come back, we start our Easter activities. So also, this is our first month that we will be in person, and that is really exciting. The funny thing is that we left our school last year during our Shamrocks and Rainbows theme, and now we're coming back with that very, very same theme. So it's very interesting, and I said we should have just left everything on the wall when we left, because that's what we're going to have when we come back. So it's been almost a full year. We are going to be coming into the classroom, starting right off in person with our St. Patrick's Day and rainbow activities. And as always, no matter if I'm planning my themes for virtual teaching or if I'm doing it in person, I always start with my books first. So I have my books here, and I just put them all in a tub, and I've mentioned this in my previous monthly planning videos, that I like to look through all the books, and then I just take Post-it notes, and I just put the date that I'm going to be reading it on it, and I just put them back in the bin. So then that way I've got that all organized. The next thing I do is then I go through Spotify and I find songs that relate to what we're going to be doing as well. So I like to use Spotify because it's easy for me to organize it. I have a Bluetooth speaker, and I just simply have different, I organize them by different playlists. So this is a playlist that is St. Patrick's Day and Rainbows. I'll drop a link to this in the description if you are interested. And so I have my songs, I have my books. The next thing I do is I think about props. So I definitely knew I wanted to have shamrocks. So I put together this packet that has plain shamrocks as well as numbered shamrocks. And I'll drop links to these printables in the video description. So these are going to be our props. And even though we're coming back in person, we're still gonna do the same thing that we did virtually. The children are still going to have their props that they can hold. So if you are watching this and you are gonna be virtual, you can use these virtually. If you're in person, you can use these in person. So the children are gonna hold their props. I will have a prop, and we will use these while we're singing different songs and while we're reading books. And then when I was going through my playlist, I found a couple that would be doing some counting. So I just created this printable that goes up to 10, but depending on, you might need to only go up to 5. I just put up to 10 so that you have some options. I chose to laminate them and put a little magnetic strip on the back, and then I have it on my cookie sheet. You could also put Velcro on the back of these and put these on your flannel board, however you want to do it. You could even take these and do the same where you put them on a craft stick and you hold them up 1 to 5 or however many you want to do. So this is a prop that you can use during your circle time. From there, what I also like to do is think about the art activities that we're going to be doing. Now, since we are starting off slowly with half of our class, we're only going to have 5 children at a time, and our class time is only going to be for a couple of hours because we're just kind of slowly getting the children back into the room again. So we don't have a lot of time. So I'm keeping things super simple. I'm also having to remember that I'm treating this like September when we first come back to school. And you all know, if you've watched my back to school videos, I always keep it simple when we come back. And that's going to be the same as now. So I'm not going to have as many art activities as I might normally have. I won't have as many center activities out as well. We're going to slowly bring them in as the children get adjusted. So one of the things I did was I created this Shamrock Template. I'll drop a link in the description, and you can use this for different Shamrock art activities. I'm thinking about probably copying this onto cardstock, heavy paper, and then I'll have them just do some watercolors on it. Another option I could do is as I can give them different green pieces. We did this last year, and they just glue the different, kind of like a collage that's on a shamrock. I also got some of my, I just recycled some boxes and I cut a shape out like a rainbow. And then what I did was I found different felt pieces that are all the different colors of the rainbow, and I will have them glue the pieces onto their rainbow like this. And I might have them paint the cardboard first. I haven't even decided that yet, but I just wanted you to see how it would look to have the felt on it. So this is just, these are simple activities for them to do as they're getting used to coming back after doing virtual teaching now since September. We're getting to know each other again in a new environment. So these are a few of our activities here. As far as our centers, we'll have different things out, but again, it's going to be very simple. Probably we'll be doing a lot of color recognition, having rainbow pieces out, our rainbow arch blocks, our rainbow, maybe our little translucent blocks. But again, very simple as we return. So what I'm going to suggest is I have a March post on my website that gives examples of all the different Rainbow and St. Patrick's Day activities that we've done in the past. So those are all in that blog post. I'll also share different centers ideas, and I share other theme ideas because not everybody wants to do that for March. You might want to have some other options. So I had asked my Facebook group what they do for the month of March, and I have included those in the blog post as well. As I get the children in the classroom and I kind of get a feel for how things are going, then I will add more. And as I add more, I will share them in future videos. So make sure to be liking Teaching 2 and 3-year-olds on YouTube. Click the bell icon so that every time that I publish a new video, you will be notified. I also wanted to remind you that I have helped create toddler and preschool lesson plans, and I have an entire year's worth, and that includes spring. So if you're thinking about spring and you just really would like to have some help on what to do, these are our toddler spring lesson plans. There's 20 different activities, and these are our preschool spring lesson plans, and there's 24 different activities. I will drop links to these in the video description as well. So that is going to be for the month of March. I haven't talked about our last week of which is going to be Easter, because I haven't gotten that far yet. But again, all the ideas and activities that I have done in the past are all going to be in that March planning blog post. Then the description to that is in the video description. So I look forward to sharing more with you as we transition into the classroom. I'm really excited, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.